Hi, this is Melissa from melissaversusfibromyalgia.com, and we are talking about the Fibromyalgia Framework. This is the physical copy of it, but it's available electronically and on my blog, and we are in part 2 today, which is Diagnosis, Misdiagnosis, and Fibro books. Now, I'm not going to spend too long going into diagnosis and misdiagnosis and what fibromyalgia is. I have a pretty in-depth blog post available on my blog, which I will link to, and there's detail in the workbook. But basically, fibromyalgia is a syndrome. There are multiple symptoms, and we talked about in the last part there being multiple parts to fibromyalgia, to being treated, and that's why it is a puzzle, because there are so many parts within it. And that's just the nature of the illness. There is doubt as to, fibromyalgia isn't a disease, it is a cluster of symptoms that the doctors throw us into that umbrella term when they don't know what else to do with us. Diagnosis is not an easy process. It takes a long time for most people, and for a lot of people, even when we get that word, not much happens in terms of help from outside. And misdiagnosis is a whole other thing. There are a lot of other things that fibromyalgia is misdiagnosed as, but there's also a lot of things that coexist with fibromyalgia, and so we have to tease out those strands, which is not easy. So the other thing we're going to talk about are my favorite books for fighting fibromyalgia. Again, this is a blog post where I have about all the 5 books in detail, but my favorite 2 books that I highly recommend are From Fatigue to Fantastic by Dr. Jacob Teitelbaum, and The Fibro Manual, a complete treatment guide to fibromyalgia for you and your doctor by Dr. Ginevra Lipton. Now, these 2 authors are doctors and have fibromyalgia themselves. Their processes are useful and have a very good place to start. And again, they acknowledge the complexity of the illness. Interestingly, they both prioritize sleep. You can't do much without sleep, and this is just a message that bangs me over the head all the time. I am so irritated that it took so many years to get sleep under control, and I only got it under control by accident with low-dose naltrexone. No doctor wanted to help me with that, and all of the benefits I have experienced are because of sleep. So that's just one of those important areas. They go into a lot of detail, and Dr. Lipton's book gives you a section in the back which you can actually give to your doctor to read. So I love these books. I reread them periodically, and they are very excellent places to start. Now, the notes section for this week is just some guiding questions. So have things come up as we've considered diagnosis and misdiagnosis, and which, if any, of the books would you like to read? Do come along to the Melissa versus Fibromyalgia Facebook group. I would love to hear your diagnosis or misdiagnosis stories. I would still love to see your fibro puzzles. Go ahead and check out the last video. Don't forget to peek at all of the content. You can buy the workbook, so you can get it physically from Amazon if you want to work through it like a course and have all the templates and notes in one place. You can get it electronically, or you can get each blog post separately on my blog, and I'll provide all of the links below. Now, if you like these videos, if you like learning about fibromyalgia and chronic pain and chronic fatigue and what you can do to help yourself, then like and subscribe and do all those good things so that I know that you like the content. And if you have any questions, ask me below or come along to the group. I really do encourage you to come to the group and have a chat, and do have a look around my blog. There are a lot of resources there. We'll see you next time. Bye.